All right, I've got another off-grid cabin for you here, and a slight twist on things. So, if you're coming back to the channel from my last video, I sure do appreciate all the new subscribers. And I've got another little bit of a different build here than what I have done in the past, and what most of my videos are about. So, walk with me down here. This is one of the neatest settings I've gotten to build a cabin in. And the reason I say that is because there is a creek that flows in front of this cabin. This is an A-frame structure. One of those deals where I've always wanted to build one, and finally got the opportunity to do that. Had a little, primarily wet weather creek here, but it flows. I mean, it's still kind of trickling right now, and it's been a week since it rained. Did a little bridge to go over to the cabin. All right, and stay tuned through the end of this video because I've got a screw up that cost me thousands of dollars, and I am going to teach you how not to do that. So, little creek running through there, and I brought the kids down here and they kind of play while we're piddling. This is about 20 by 20, so 400 square foot on the bottom, and then there's a sleep-in loft. The railing here, right here at the top of the steps, is not done yet. We're gonna do something different for this buyer. And did a sliding glass door here. This one's 6 foot wide, and we've got a sleeping loft in here. So what makes this cabin a little different, as you can see, is it is unfinished. So this is giving the buyer the opportunity to be able to build it out as they wish, and keep it as off-grid as they would like. I know some of y'all have commented that if it's got propane heat or whatever, it's not off-grid. Well, I guess the buyer here, in this case, will decide how off-grid they want to keep it. They can do propane, they could do a wood stove, they got a multitude of options. But this just gives them like a blank drawing board here. So their opportunities are endless. Pretty simple, not a lot to talk about. Walk in here again. There's just over 8 feet of headspace below the loft, so you've got plenty of room to be able to, you could divide that. You could have maybe a bathroom over here and a little kitchenette over here, but still plenty of room to walk underneath the loft. And I believe that loft added about 50, don't quote me on that. I think it added a little over 50 square feet. So just a different area. This is super nice for like a little weekend getaway in the woods. You want to hang out with the family. Plenty of room up there to have a little seating area there in the front, and you've got a nice view. Both the windows in the peak open, and there you have it. So, solid build. Definitely something you could get into and then finish up as time and money and all allows, or just have you a nice place to, like, it's a step up from a tent. You can camp out in there, hang out, enjoy the property, etc. So that's pretty well the majority of that. There's the bridge going across the creek, and the creek runs down through there and goes on. So this property is sold. There is, or we're about to close on it. 4 acres here on this piece. And just to give you a ballpark idea, with 4 acres of land and about 450 square foot cabin, selling price was about $57,000. So just gives you a ballpark of what you're looking at when you're getting into these types of builds. It's on 6x6 posts underneath throughout, and yeah, super solid build. Super solid. 2x6 steps, things like that. All right, let me go into my screw up, okay? What I did was I was trying to save some money, which in turn saves the buyer money. And I used Onyx for my property lines. And I thought, man, if I just use Onyx and I add a little, I'm going to be golden. And so that's what I did. Built a cabin, right? And then I found a pin in the ground. And I was like, man, that doesn't add up with what Onyx is showing. So let me show you. I'm gonna edit this video only to throw in a clip of me moving it. The unedited videos do much better on YouTube, it seems, but I'm gonna take a risk here and I'm gonna throw in a video or a little segment of video of us moving the cabin and what I had to do. But the cabin used to sit right over there, all right? And the way that I had it structured was that the creek ran across the back and then it came around the side and you could see the creek on 2 different sides. I guess 3 if you count the front porch. But anyways, so I was walking along and found a pin in the ground somewhere over here. Right at the base of this. Right there, concrete, or rebar, I'm sorry, not concrete. Rebar with the cap on it from the survey company. And I knew that there was a corner over there. And so the long story short on this deal is that I screwed up. I built the property over the property line, okay? Onyx is what I was using. And I knew from doing dirt work in the past that those lines kind of vary. Had not seen it move this much. Different times of the day, year, whatever, those lines will move. Anyway, so the lines were off like 30 feet. It showed a creek way into the property, and I built right on the edge of that creek, as I've shown you in the video. And the reality was the creek was actually, it had moved over time or whatever, I don't know, but it didn't line up. So we ended up moving the cabin. The reason being is because I tried to reach out to that owner. In fact, I drove 2.5 hours to his tax address and was able to find him, locate him, sat down, had a good talk with him. Everything was cool. But at the end of the day, he did not want to sell any of the land, not even a little piece. So I went ahead and just moved it. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I hired a shed moving company. They brought down one of their mules. We put some, we did do additional bracing under the cabin and inside the cabin. And I hired a few more guys and we got it moved. And altogether, I'd say that move cost me probably $3,500, something like that, to move it, you know, I don't know, 100 feet. Between materials, labor, and hiring the shed moving company. And then I had to pay for a real survey, and I paid for it several times. Well, not several times, I didn't pay for it, but I had them come out several times to really make sure that we had this honed in and we got it over the property line. There is no HOA or restrictions here, so there's none of this, like you have to be so many feet off the property line or anything like that. So that wasn't a crisis, but we did still have to move the cabin. So that pretty well wraps up that. If you got questions about it, leave it down below. It's one of those screw-ups that I probably won't make twice in my life. That's just how it goes sometimes. And sometimes you're the worm and sometimes you're the bird, but so it goes. The cabin was originally done with a white back and a white front. The new owner decided that they wanted a black front. So we swapped out that sheet metal after the move, just in case we dinged up any metal during the move. So when you see it being moved in the video or the snippet or whatever, or pictures or whatever I decide to put in there, it will have a white face. But that's pretty well that. This is like the ultimate off-grid cabin because there is nothing to it. So none of you can tell me this is not an off-grid cabin. So that's where we're at. All right, guys, Mountain Wizard out. We'll catch you next time. Thanks.